Hey guys, my name's Brian Fleming from buildingsocialproof.com. Boy, I got some really good tips for you today. I've got 4 tips of how, Tiffany Harmon's just along for the ride. It's cool. I've got 4 tips for you on how to share your content on social media. And I'm making an example of it right now because, guys, I make these videos on an app called Periscope. Maybe you're watching this on YouTube. Maybe you're watching it on iTunes on my video podcast. Maybe you're watching it embedded on my blog. This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Taking your content and posting it out to social media channels. What's the best way to do that? Well, that's what I'm going to share with you in a minute. But first, I want you guys to know November 19th, when I'm making this is on a Wednesday, it's going to be Thursday night. It's tomorrow, 8 o'clock p.m. I'm going to be having live Facebook marketing training. If you have a business or a brand and you want to grow it on Facebook, I am going to be spilling my guts. I'm going to be telling you everything I know about Facebook, what's worked for me and what doesn't work, what you shouldn't be doing, what's a complete waste of time. If you want in on that, head over to buildingsocialproof.com. Again, tomorrow, 8 o'clock p.m. Love to have you there. Last webinar, I had just under 100 people. I'm hoping to break it on this one. We'll see, They're always a load of fun. Everybody tells me when they get off, they learn so much, and I really want to bring it tomorrow night and make it a great one. So let's talk about sharing content on social media. Now, I've got some notes I've written down for it. And the first one, you've probably heard this before, and it doesn't apply just to social media. It applies to everything online. It applies to emails. It applies to blog posts. Everything works this way, and that is you need a strong headline. The people who are good at it say you should spend like half your time just writing the headline because guess what? It's kind of obvious. If people don't like the headline, they're not going to read your article, right? And I think a lot of times we all kind of skip past the headline and don't spend enough time on it. Now, one thing I've found that works pretty well for me is if you can Google it, you can find headline swipe files, which are pre-done headlines that you can fill in the blank, and it can really jog your mind into some really powerful, good working headlines. So you want a strong headline so that your post jumps out. Now, some tricks you can use is look at your blog posts that got the most people to read them, or emails that got the most people to open them, or some of your older social media posts that kind of have more lift to them. Look at those headlines and try to see what they have in common. Are they longer? Are they shorter? What sorts of things are in common with those headlines? Because headlines are the most important thing when you're sharing out on social media. It's what grabs people's attention. And headlines too, guys, just so you know, a lot of times your headline can be in that graphic because graphics really grab people. So you can put your... Now, another thing you want to do, and this is a big one that will kill people, you want to optimize your posts for each channel. Here's what you don't want to do. What you don't want to do is you don't want to, go on WordPress, and we all know, maybe you don't know, you can write a blog post on WordPress and hit publicize, and it'll shoot it out to Facebook, it'll shoot it out to Twitter, it'll shoot it out to Google+, it'll shoot it out everywhere. But you know what? When it ends up on Facebook, it looks like crap, and nobody's going to like it, share it, or comment it. The post is going to die. The same with Twitter. Posts on Twitter, they need to have an image to go anywhere. It doesn't have an image on Twitter. It's just a bunch of text. So you're not good at it. So you really have to watch it. You really have to make sure that when you post the content, it looks good across all the social media channels. Now, there are tools that can do it. I use Buffer App. Buffer App does a pretty darn good job of optimizing the posts for every social media channel. Just pay attention to that, guys. It needs to look good, A graphic on Facebook can look really good, and you take that same graphic and put it on Twitter, and it looks kind of crunched, It doesn't quite read right. So that sort of thing's what I'm talking about. Doesn't take a lot of extra effort, I'll use this Periscope video as an example. I edit it down. I strip out content because I know people on YouTube only want to see certain parts. I do certain things to it's not a lot of work. It's just little tweaks you do for each channel. I would never take a tool and just blast it onto these channels and just take the raw footage and send it out there because it just wouldn't work as well on the other channels. So the other one, number 3 is don't post too much. Now, here's what I'm talking about. If you've used Twitter and you've seen it where there's somebody gets on there and it's reply, tweet, retweet, and it looks spammy, like you're going through your stream and you see like one guy just takes up like 40 posts, don't do that. I mean, obviously it looks bad, right? People will unfollow you for that sort of thing. So what you want to do, I recommend you do it, is use scheduling tools so you don't fall into that trap. Personally, on Twitter, I use Hootsuite, and when I reply to people, I schedule it. So what Hootsuite will do is it'll make 5 minutes and have 40 tweets going out all at once. Use software like Hootsuite to schedule them out so you're not blowing up people's feeds and they start unfollowing you, okay? Super, super important. Don't blast out a bunch of tweets and status updates at one time. Now, the fourth tip, kind of obvious. I think we all do it anyways, but I mean, not always. I've seen people not do it. You want to have a call to write the thing. Do you want them to go to your website? Do you want them to sign up for your email list? Do you want them to buy your product? What's the point of posting that social media content? And you want to make sure you have a strong call to action. You know, when I put these videos on Facebook, Facebook gives you a call to action button. Every single video I've ever put on Facebook, I always put a call to action button. If you guys are watching this on Facebook, look down right now. You'll see I have a sign up button right there. So you can sign up and go to my Facebook marketing workshop. So that's what a call to action is. All the social media platforms, you want to at least put a link, a reason for them, something to do with the post. Now, usually if we're posting links to our blog or to our website, that is the call to action. Click the link to go learn more. It's kind of inherent. So just remember those 4 tips, guys. I'm going to review them real quick. Strong headline, optimize for each channel, don't post too much, schedule it out, don't blow up people's feeds, and always end with a call to action so they click through and they do what you want them to do. If you don't tell people, they won't do it. Now, I've got another, we'll call it a bonus tip, we'll call it a 5th one, and this is sort of how your social media content should line up, okay? 1/3 of your posts should be promotional posts. Sales you're having, sign up for my list, blog post, things about you and your company. That's 1/3 of your posts should be that. The second third of your posts should be other people's stuff you didn't make. Share other people's stuff. I've talked about it in other videos, how you can go on places like Facebook and find the popular stuff. I mean, don't just share anything. Share stuff people already like, share, and comment on. Facebook will tell you what's popular. That's the stuff you should be sharing. So 1/3 is other people's stuff, viral content. That's the other 1/3. The final 1/3 of what you should be sharing online is interactions. Cocktail party. Think about that. Replying to people on Twitter. Personal interactions with other people to build up your brand. Those are the 1/3s. 1/3 of promotional content, 1/3 of other people's content, and 1/3 of personal interactions. Do that, guys, and you will be in great shape as you move through social media and sharing stuff. So those are my tips for you guys. Again, if you want to learn how to crush it on the largest social media network, Facebook, I'm going to be talking about it Thursday, November 19th. That's tomorrow when I'm recording this video, 8 o'clock p.m. You guys can sign up at buildingsocialproof.com. Love to have you there. I'm going to be giving you guys some killer tips on how to grow your business with Facebook. And I'm going to be telling you what not to do, the huge time sucks to stay away from that'll just waste a bunch of time and have nothing to show for it. We don't want to do any of that, do we? All right, guys, have a good one, and I'll talk to you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.